Hi, K-Kids. It's me, Mrs. Rosno. Welcome back for another chapter of Junie B, First Grader at Last by Barbara Park. We are already up to chapter 6 called the E game. And if you remember from yesterday, Junie B is in the nurse's office. So let's see what happens. I sat in a chair next to Mrs. Weller's desk. She asked me lots of questions. First, she asked me how I liked my summer vacation. Then she asked me how I liked first grade and how I liked Mr. Scary. That is called stall talk, I believe. Finally, Mrs. Weller stood up. Have you noticed the eye charts I have hanging on my wall, Junie B? She asked. She pointed at them. Eye charts are posters that help us test our eyesight, she explained. I have 2 different kinds, see? One has alphabet letters on it, and the one right next to it is filled with funny E's. That one is called an E chart. I looked at that funny thing. Whoa, I said. Those are the craziest E's I ever saw. They are backwards and forwards and upside down. You're right, said Mrs. Weller. The E's are all mixed up, aren't they? And today, you and I are going to play a game with those mixed up E's. It's called the E game. After that, Mrs. Weller got a little paper cup, and she showed me how to hold it over one of my eyes. We're going to be testing each of your eyes separately, she said. While one eye is hiding underneath the cup, the other eye will play the game, okay? I shrugged my shoulders, because what choice did I have? Mrs. Weller showed me where to stand to play the game. Then she went back to the E chart. All right, she said. Now, each time I point to one of the E's, I want you to tell me the direction it's facing. Are you ready, Junie B? I shrugged again. Then I hid one eye behind the cup, and Mrs. Weller pointed at the first E. I pointed my finger up. That one is facing up at the ceiling, I told her. Good, said Mrs. Weller. Excellent. Well, I felt a little bit better inside. Mrs. Weller pointed to the next E. I turned my finger down at the floor. That one is facing down, I said. Mrs. Weller smiled and nodded. Oh, I stood up taller, because this wasn't as hard as I thought. After that, the nurse kept on pointing at more E's, and I kept on telling her which way they were facing. Right, left, down, left, up. I stopped and grinned. Hey, what do you know? I'm a breeze at this game. Right, Mrs. Weller? Right, right, I said. Mrs. Weller winked at me. We're almost done, she said. Only a few more E's to go. Then she pointed to a new row. There was a fuzzy smudgy next to her finger. Whoops, I said. What happened there, Mrs. Weller? Did someone spill something on your chart? Mrs. Weller did a frown at me, and she kept pointing at that smudgy. Can you tell me anything about this mark at all, Junie B? She said. Yes, I said. It's a smear ball. Mrs. Weller moved her finger over a little bit. What about this mark here? Can you tell me anything about this one? I stared and stared at that thing. That one's a toughie, I said. Finally, Mrs. Weller came over to me. That's fine, she said. You did just fine, Junie B. After that, we played the same game with my other eye. And guess what? I saw 3 more smudgies and a smeary. After I was done, I sat down in the chair again. Mrs. Weller said, I need glasses. I do not like Mrs. Weller. And that is the end of chapter 6, K-Kids. It was so quick. Okay, chapter 7 is called Good Guessing. Oh, I have to show you the front cover again. Take a peek. There Junie B is. She has glasses on. And guess what? I, Mrs. Rosno, wore glasses for many, many, many years in my life. In fact, I think I was in first grade when I first figured out I needed to wear glasses too. Glasses are wonderful. So even though this chapter ends a little bit on the grumpies, where Junie B is saying, I do not like Mrs. Weller, maybe everything will turn out. Let's get back together and read chapter 7, Good Guessing, to see what happens. Junie B, first grader, at last, by Barbara Park. Okay, kids, stay home, be safe, be well. I love you, love you, love you so much, and I miss you. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye.